what's up, fragrance fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a legend, a fragrance that's been at the top of best winter list for over a decade. We're finally cracking into Parfums de Marly Herald. This is the iconic tobacco vanilla scent that everyone raves about. But here's the thing. I recently acquired a brand new bottle released in 2024, and the fragrance community has been, let's say, concerned about recent batches. So here's the question. Is it still the masterpiece people remember? We're gonna find out. Stick around.
Okay, let's go.
Before we dive in, if you're new here, I'm Ping, and we break down fragrances, no fluff, just honest reviews and guides to help you find your next signature scent. If that sounds like your vibe, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss a drop. All right, let's get into it. First, the presentation. Parfums de Marly never misses. This bottle is heavy, elegant, luxurious. It feels expensive. The atomizer is a fine mist. Perfect. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. This is a 2024 bottle. The nose behind this fragrance is Olivier Pouchou, and the notes list is a dream. But the big question on everyone's mind, has it been reformulated into a skin scent? We'll get to performance, but first, let's smell it. All right, let's spray. On paper. Okay, the opening is an event. It's not shy. First 15 seconds, the first impression is a bright, almost effervescent burst of pepper and spice. It's not a harsh black pepper, but more like a finely ground aromatic black pepper and that signature pepperwood note PDM uses. It has a tingling, lively quality that immediately wakes up the senses. Okay, 15 seconds to 1 minute, almost instantly a warm, golden wave of cinnamon sweeps in. This is not the cinnamon from your kitchen cupboard. It's smoother, more like a cinnamon infused honey or a fine liquor. It's sweet, spicy, and incredibly inviting. For a brief moment, there is a subtle, almost citrus tinge freshness from osmanthus in the background, but it's fleeting. From 1 to 4 minutes, now the star begins its entrance. Tobacco leaf emerges, but it's drenched in that honeyed cinnamon. Imagine opening a humidor filled with the highest quality, sweet, sun-cured Virginia tobacco leaves. There's zero ash or smoke here. It's a plush, aromatic, and slightly fruity tobacco. The opening phase is a masterclass in balance. The spice is vibrant but never abrasive. The sweetness is rich but never cloying. It sets a stage of sophisticated, cozy warmth. As we settle into the heart, around the 15 to 30-minute mark, Harold transforms from a wow to where have you been all my life. The tobacco note deepens and becomes velvety. It's now the undisputed centerpiece. The honeyed quality remains, but it's joined by a creamy, almost nutty facet. This is the labdanum working its magic. It adds a sticky, balsamic richness that makes the scent feel expensive and dense. This is where the genius touch of incense reveals itself. It's not a churchy, thick smoke. It's a clean, wispy, and slightly piney incense that waves through the tobacco. It adds an air of serenity and complexity, lifting the composition and preventing it from feeling too heavy or food like. Okay, the smuggles from the opening now shows its true character. It loses any citrus hint and delivers a soft, sweet-like leather and apricot jam aroma. It's subtle, but it's the secret ingredient that gives Herod its unique, plush, and slightly floral ambery texture. This face is warm, enveloping, and deeply comforting. It feels like being wrapped in a cashmere blanket by a fireplace. Okay, here's the dry down. Beginning around the 2 hour mark is where Herod becomes a personal, intimate signature. The vanilla from the base notes finally steps into the spotlight, but this is not a sugary ice cream vanilla. It's a boozy, resinous, almost rum-like vanilla that merges seamlessly with the amber. Together, they create a sweet, musky, and creamy blanket that sways the fading tobacco and incense. The cedar wood provides a dry, pencil shaving crispness, while the vetiver adds a clean, earthy, and slightly grassy rottenness. These woody notes act as a structural backbone, ensuring the dry down remains elegant and refined, never becoming a flat vanilla scent. In the final stages, 6 hours plus, what's left on the skin is a beautiful, slightly powdery and musky blend of sweet woods and faint vanilla. It's a skin scent, but it's a high quality, persistent one. You get gentle, comforting warmth of it throughout the day. It's the ghost of the masterpiece, a reminder of the luxurious journey. Now, the performance. With that being said, this is where we have to get real. On my skin, with this 2024 battle, the performance is not really impressive. In fact, it's disappointing. For projection, it creates a lovely scent bubble for about 90 minutes to 2 hours. After that, it settles to an intimate level of projection. It's not a beast projector. Okay. For longevity, I am struggling to get 6 hours before it becomes a true skin scent. You might get an occasional whiff, but it's faint. It does cling to clothes better, so to speak. Look, for the price of Parfums de Marly, you expect more. The community rumors seem true for this batch. It's not the powerhouse it once had a reputation for. So, who is this for? This one takes the cake for being the ultimate cozy, cold weather scent. It's definitely geared towards fall and winter evenings. This is perfect for a date night, a fancy dinner, or just making a cold day feel luxurious. It's leaning more masculine, but ladies can pull it off if they love unisex warm scents. It's classy, easy to wear, and a freaking compliment magnet. People will ask what you are wearing. It's a winner in terms of compliments. Ultimately, the verdict. The scent itself is a 10 out of 10. It's a wonderful, likable scent that is unparalleled in its genre. However, the atrocious performance of this new batch is a major letdown. If you prioritize scent over performance and don't mind reapplying or wearing it for shorter, intimate occasions, you will love this concoction. But if you need a fragrance that lasts all day and projects, you might be put off. For the price, you expect both. It's a tragedy because the smell is a masterpiece. Maybe maceration will help. So, what do you think of Herod? Have you tried older versus newer batches? Let me know down below. I read every comment. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button. It really helps the channel. Stay tuned for next review where we will be covering Timeless by Clive Christian. Until then, keep smelling fantastic and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.